First of a back-to-back for both teams. Boston at home tomorrow against New Jersey, a team they just beat the other night. On the road, Indiana, the first of 4 and 5 nights tomorrow night will be in Washington. The Wizards and the Pacers, they'll double team O'Neal.
Yeah, they're going to try to make him a passer.
And that time he passes. Good defense by Boston as Granger for 3. That's great to see because the last 3 games, Quinn, he was 0 for 13.
He was struggling making his three-point shot. He did a nice job there because what he ended up getting was a challenge 3, and those are always difficult to make.
And in fact, in his last 4 games, he was 1 of 18 after a 9 of 15 start. Here's KG and Garnett.
He has this strange thing that he does on the left side. While he'll move you to try to make you think he wants to go to the middle, he wants to get to the baseline for the shot he just made.
Oh, nice pass from O'Neal. That ball's going to be tipped. Murphy's going to have to run it down, but does a great job of blocking Rajon Rondo for Indiana to keep the possession.
Boy, he really did do a good job.
Well,
he got lucky because that's really, he got a break.
Well, he knew he didn't have the speed to outrace Rondo. He just had to put his big body.
Did.
Oh, I don't
Come on, he looked like he had the speed.
I don't know about that, QB. Here's Tinsley. Indiana beating the shot clock with Dunleavy, but O'Neal the rebound, and I think the ball hit the rim.
Oh, there's no question it hit the rim. The question is, did it hit the rim before the shot clock went off?
It hit something.
No, it hit the rim.
I believe they are going to, let's see, they may overrule that. Well,
the interesting thing is if you run that back, you can see the clock is at 0 when that ball is in the air. You can see it's at 0.
Now they're going to give it to Indiana.
Yeah, they give it to Indiana, but I don't think there's any question about it. The clock was at 0 before the ball hit the rim.
Pacers scored 74 points in the first half on Saturday. And O'Neal was a part of that, his jumper. But Murphy the rebound, and Garnett was there, swatted away, and he rolls it out to Allen.
Allen he just double dribbled.
And the crowd knows it.
Sure, he tried to get control of it, couldn't get control of it.
He was looking for a handle to pick it up as Garnett can't get it, so nothing lost for Indiana. Nice drive by Tinsley, the hoop and the foul. Jamal Tinsley played very well in the first half against Denver on Saturday night. JT had 10 assists, matching his season high, but he had 8 of those in the first half.
Well, he does a nice job here taking advantage of the youth of Rajon Rondo. Rondo has got the ability to guard defensively, but I think you got to put some pressure on him, get him out of the game. But mind you, should you do that, they come with a better shooter in Eddie House.
Well, a timeout is called with 10:08 to play. Of the 22nd variety. Blood timeout?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's his name got hit in the nose? I'm sorry, Murphy got hit in the nose. What's his name? Troy Murphy got hit in the nose.
Jim O'Brien talking to Troy Murphy. He'll try to get that stop, but if he cannot, then Jeff Foster will be on the floor for Indiana. Well, the Boston Celtics this summer brought in 2 All-Stars in Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. Back in 04-05, they had a playoff team under Doc Rivers at 45 and 37, but they slipped significantly in each of the last 2 years. And last year was a real struggle. Paul Pierce was frustrated much of the year, played just 47 games due to injury, and there was speculation that he would ask for a trade, but in fact, a couple of huge trades as Murphy cannot get that.
Yeah, it started again, and it got on the floor. And as a matter of fact, Kendrick Perkins noticed it right away. And he literally walked off the court just to try to make sure he got the official attention. They'll probably have to go in and try to get that taken care of. Not probably. Have to go in and get it taken care of. You don't get stitches for it. You just try to find a way to get the blood to coagulate.
Yeah, so Murphy will sit down. That brings in Jeff Foster. Murphy has started the last couple of games after he's come back from that Achilles injury, but Foster was the starter early on. He's averaging 7 points and 7 rebounds. Murphy has played well in his 3 games, and they'll like to get him back in. 15 points and 6 rebounds, and offers a significant threat out behind the three-point arc. So we'll wait here as they clean the floor. But the good news for Indiana, and also it plays with you mentally, and I'm sure for Danny Granger, first shot to get off the snide after you've really struggled from three-point range.
Well, yeah, but once you get that first one to go, you know, if you're a shooter like Danny is, he thinks that he's hot now. You're one in a row, you're hot when you're a shooter.
Tinsley completes the three-point play, and the Pacers have a 4-point lead here early. And a foul is called as Pierce comes to the top.
They call that on Jermaine O'Neal as Kevin Garnett was coming across because they had been going back and forth on the left side. You watch when he comes across, they call that a foul on Jermaine O'Neal. I mean, he's there first. That's a tough call. He's there first. He's entitled to the position.
Paul Pierce has been a handle for the Pacers over the last few years. Catches, shoots. Can't get it. Foster the rebound. This is a Celtics team that has started the year at 52% from the field. Tough pass. O'Neal gathered it in, but they knock it away.
Hammered it. I mean, they didn't foul it. They hammered it. That's why Jermaine O'Neal is clapping. Because he thought there should have been a foul call. There you go. Take it.
Right to the basket, and Jamal Tinsley has scored 5 straight.
Yeah, just take him because he gets caught looking around trying to figure out what else is going on, and Doc Rivers has seen enough of that.
Eddie House is waiting at the scores bench. Quinn just mentioned he's a terrific perimeter shooter. Pierce was cut off there by Granger. Rondo hits the jumper. Rajon Rondo played for Tubby Smith at Kentucky. His second year was a first-round draft pick by Phoenix. Boston picked him up in a trade last year. Dunleavy, his first shot is good.
Tough shot because the ball rolled off the side of his hand and he was able to still control it and get it to go down. Good sign to see him get his first shot to go down.
He has shot nearly 50% from the field this year early on in the first 6 games. Rondo, their little runner.
That was... He didn't get off the ground. He just basically threw that at the basket.
And a 10-6 lead for Indiana. When you guard Boston, you got to pick your poison with either Garnett, Pierce, or Allen. That's short.
You really do. That's really what it comes down to, Chris. You're exactly right. Pick your poison. You got this guy right here that can shoot it with range.
And I guess part of it would be Rondo.
Yeah, I mean, he would be the guy that you would let shoot. Got to help. It's a tough matchup for him.
Should be a charge, and they are going to call a block. We'll have to get a look and see where J.O.'s feet were, because that is critical, because that will be the second foul of the quarter on Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, he's trying to come across. Oh, boy. He looks out to me.
Yeah, I think he was out. Jermaine O'Neal looked like he had terrific position there as Pierce barreled over him. David Harrison waiting to come in, and that is not the type of start that Indiana would want, with O'Neal picking up his second foul and Murphy getting a bloody nose, so 2 of your inside starters are on the bench.
Yeah, you got to make up some of the areas where you lose some people here. But, hey, listen, that's going to happen through the course of the season. And I see this early as a challenge to figure out who steps up, where are the opportunities to get something, out of some different people.
Allen will challenge and find Pierce, and Pierce hits the side of the backboard.
Thank goodness, because he doesn't get many open shots.
Tinsley again. This time it's too long. Ball tipped, and Garnett, who is averaging 15.8 rebounds per game. Perkins with a solid move.
Yeah, because he really was able to lift David Harrison on that move. Pacers got to come back and be able to stay in rhythm. The thing that starts to happen, Kevin, the team does so well, it appears, in the first half. They stop moving the basketball. So they got to continue to do that.
David Harrison hits the jumper. His time has been limited because of fouls through the first 6 games, 89 minutes, 25 fouls. That has hampered him over his career. Good to see Harrison hit that jumper. Pacers a 4-point lead as Allen misses. Tinsley attacks Eddie House. Up high for Foster, who tosses it in.
Well, he did a nice job because Perkins got froze because Tinsley had Eddie House on the string, and he just threw the ball at the rim and was able to get it to Foster.
And it's a 6-point Indiana lead with 6:49 to play here in the opening quarter. Pierce finds House.
You got to get to him. You got to get to him. That's the difference with him on the floor and Rondo. He's not a guy you can turn your head on.
Averaging 11 points a game off the bench is Eddie House, a terrific three-point shooter.
He's the fourth leading scorer on their team, and there's a reason. The guy can knock down threes.
Last 2 years has played in New Jersey and Phoenix. Foster can't hit the perimeter jumper. House hit 75 threes a year ago. He hit 123 2 years ago in that wide-open Phoenix offense. Pierce doesn't get it, but Harrison has picked up the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough position. They set that screen because Perkins really is not going to shoot the ball. So they ran a screen with Perkins, and then Pierce came off, and Perkins is guarded by Harrison. Harrison got put in a tough defensive position. He's got to be aware that's the way they play this game.
So Paul Pierce, 23.6 points per game, the leading scorer for the Celtics this season by a point better than Allen and Garnett, and he is one of the top scorers all time in Boston history. Pierce in 6th place. He passed Sam Jones earlier this year. He trails Havlicek, Bird, Parrish, McHale, and Bob Cousy.
How about that? 3 out of the 6 of the original big three.
2-point lead for Indiana halfway through the first quarter as Dunleavy got there. Harrison, the cut. Tipped up and in, but a foul. There's going to be a foul well before that.
Exactly.
Didn't hear the whistle, but the foul will be on Kendrick Perkins. Indiana will shoot the free throws. They play with a 2-point lead. All the men and women, the veterans honored on Monday here in Indianapolis.
Here.
With Stacey Pates and Quinn Buckner, I'm Chris Denary. Jim O'Brien coaching against one of the 2 other teams that he has coached in his NBA career. He's been an assistant in New York, but a head coach in Boston and Philadelphia. And Jim having a chance to coach against Paul Pierce, who played for him, and that's Ray Allen. In his first season back in the Eastern Conference, played many years in Milwaukee. And that's why that guy has a smile on his face. He got a lot of help.
He got a lot of help. Ray Allen comes back to the East Coast. He did play in Milwaukee. Actually grew up in South Carolina. Believe it or not, Kevin Garnett, Jermaine O'Neal, and Ray Allen were raised in South Carolina. But for Ray Allen, he's back toward Connecticut.
Yeah, played his college basketball in Connecticut, New England, where they follow the Celtics as they do the Red Sox and the New England Patriots. So Ray Allen back where he played his college basketball. Granger
made a mistake. David Harrison has got Paul Pierce on him, and nobody seems to see it.
Shot clock down to 9. They go right inside to Foster with a strong post move.
Well, they had a switch, and on the inside, Pierce was the guy on the inside. Or you have Garnett, who was so active on the outside.
Foster now has the duty of guarding Garnett. Well, they find Perkins, and Harrison commits the foul, and that will be his second. So Jim O'Brien has to dig deeper into that bench, and the good news is we see Troy Murphy able to come back in.
Yeah, already undermanned with big people. So that is a problem as you take a look there. Ike Diago there in the blue, as is Courtney Sims behind him, but as he's dressed, Courtney is on the inactive list. Ike Diago is hurt. So you're short in terms of the people you can get on the floor.
So Murphy is back. So Harrison and Jermaine O'Neal each with a couple of personal fouls to start the quarter. And we're just a little over halfway through. Already the Pacers' 5th home game of the year, 2-2 record. They were just over 500 at home last year at 22-19. To be a factor in the East, you've got to be better than that at home.
Yeah, you do. You've got to be solid at home. If you can split your road games, but you got to win almost 60% of your home games at least.
Well, that's a nice look there by Foster, and Good running there by Danny Granger. It's simply what Jim O'Brien talks about. You got to run.
Well, it was great recognition on the part of Danny Granger because he knows that Jeff Foster's in trouble. So he runs by Pierce and gets himself to the rim. You see Perkins comes late, but it's a nice recognition because you know the guys who are really going to make a play with the basketball and guys are looking to pass. And Foster's the guy that typically looks to pass, even though he's made some shots.
6 early points for Danny Granger. He's hit a 3. And the Pacers lead by 5.
This is really good defense here.
Oh, I think he walked.
He didn't walk. He went from one side of the lane to the other.
Well, he's double dribbled now and he's walked. What else can Ray Allen do tonight? Oh, they will call it out on Mike Dunleavy. Jim O'Brien is sure to let the officials know about it.
1, 2. Oh, no. I tell you what, he got away with it. But the first part was all right because the ball came off of Dunleavy. The second part, he hopped. He grabbed, you can see him grab it around the waist.
And the penalty in effect now for the Boston Celtics. Through the first 6 games of the year, that has been a problem for Indiana fouling. Opponents have come in shooting well over 10 more free throws per game and when making almost 9 more per game than the Pacers.
Yeah, that is an area you got to do a better job in. It's playing defense without fouling so you don't put people on the foul line.
The Utah Jazz made a surprising run to the Western Conference Finals last season. They're looking to go one step further this year. Saturday night, Darren Williams and the Jazz make their one and only appearance here at Conseco Fieldhouse. For tickets, log on to Pacers.com. A nice way to spend your Saturday night here at Conseco Fieldhouse.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't the outcome that fans would have liked to see on Saturday night against Denver, but it was a spectacular game. Murphy, a little hop and a foul.
I'll tell you what it was, though. There was no quit in the game.
No.
I mean, there are mistakes made in the game, but there was no quit. I think there was some learning in the game.
And the Pacers have shown that they have adapted to Jim O'Brien's style, but it's going to take time for it to have a lasting effect, and maybe more so, I think, mentally than physically, as Murphy hits it. And on the floor now for the Boston Celtics is Scott Pollard in his 11th NBA season. Played for the Pacers for 3 years and I think still has a very warm spot in his heart for Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. I know his family enjoyed it very much here.
Yeah, without a doubt they enjoyed it very much. As a matter of fact, I saw them at a doctor's office earlier this year, so I think they still live here. So he very much has enjoyed this area. 21-16. Pollard spent last year in Cleveland after his 3 seasons in Indianapolis. Garnett's going to fire the long jumper, but Pierce is there for the rebound. And now Eddie House hits the 3. Yeah, he's the one. It's an unusual thing, particularly on that end, because he plays point guard, but you've got to find a way to get to him.
And the Pacers throw it away. That will be an over and back violation as Sean Williams is on for the first time. Indiana committed a season-high 21 turnovers against Denver on Saturday night. And ironically, Denver had one more than Indiana did. And Travis Diener is on for the first time. Diener's been in a shooting slump, but hit his only 3-point shot on Saturday night against Denver.
But he may be a little bit, he more than Danny, may be susceptible to one of those really good nights if he gets warm.
Now Ray Allen, he can heat it up. That one's too strong, and Foster there for the rebound.
Yeah. All I saw was Jeff Foster getting it and about to dribble with Diener near him. I'm thinking, give it to Travis.
Granger, jumper good. Danny Granger's hit all of his shots from the field.
Looks good. I mean, right there in traffic, challenge shot.
4-point Indiana lead. Just over 3 to play here in the first. House. That's short. And Jeff Foster eats up another rebound. Already 5 rebounds for Foster. And he's played 7 minutes.
Give it right back to him. Oh, you had the guy you want with the ball.
Extra pass, Murphy, Granger. He's in the lane, and Diener will fire the three, too strong.
That's got to be a jump ball.
And a loose ball foul is called on Sean Williams. So Kevin Garnett will shoot the free throws, but Danny Granger is red hot. 8 first quarter points, Pacers by 4.
23-19 back at Conseco Fieldhouse. We've documented, and you probably already knew, that Jim O'Brien coached Paul Pierce from 2001 to 2004 when he was head coach in Boston. So I asked Jim O'Brien to tell me a little bit about Paul Pierce. What are some things about him that puts him on a level that's different from other athletes? And he said, truly, he doesn't get enough recognition for the type of leader he is. This is a guy who just loves to win. He's a winner. He's someone that is a great leader and actually can be quite a good defender, too, when he puts his mind to it and focuses on it as well. But, guys, back to that winning thing, how Coach said he loves to be a winner. How much fun do you think he's having so far?
Well, Coach O'Brien is not having all of the fun he'd like to have, but I would think when you think about Paul Pierce, he's got to be pretty pleased. He's yet to lose a game. And I was talking with Ray Allen a little bit before the game, and the thing that he said that is different as you look at Paul Pierce is that none of them feel like they have the burden of having to score 30 in order for them respectively to win. And for all of them, that's such a breath of fresh air because they knew on a nightly basis in the past, they all felt like that had to be what they needed to do.
Garnett with the free throw. Paul Pierce has spent his entire career with the Boston Celtics, and the guy sitting to my right helped win an NBA title with the Celtics. What, for Garnett and Allen, what's the biggest adjustment? What is it like, Quinn, to play in Boston?
They feel, and this is the thing that's interesting about both Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. You feel a little bit of the pressure of making sure that you don't let those people who've been there before you down. I mean, that's the way I played. And Red Auerbach, the later Red Auerbach, was alive then, and that's the way I felt about that. And I think these guys feel a little bit of that same kind of burden, but they don't want to let the legacy down.
James Posey is on for the first time. Posey has been out with low back spasms, was injured last week in their win against Denver, but he's back on the floor, and now a three is missed, and Foster has another rebound. And you mentioned the expectations and all that burden. I mean, when you were there and you won a world championship with Larry Bird, I mean, you guys had Sam Jones, Bill Russell, Havlicek, all those guys, just like these guys have Bird, Parrish, and McHale to think about.
There's no question. It's exactly the same kind of thinking. It's just those guys that, you know, you look up there and see those banners and you want to be a part of that.
Garnett. Good defense there by Foster.
It really was, because they forced him inside, and that's not the way Kevin Garnett wants to turn.
Now he's going to go down the lane with a nice handoff, and Pollard ties it.
Well, that's where he's really been, I think, exceptional with this team, is his ability to get people. Like Pollard is not a guy that scores.
That's his first points of the year.
Exactly. So Kevin Garnett gets him in the game.
And now they've tied it. Diener in the lane. Little floater by Sean.
He tried to get the rebound, got held.
Williams has missed his first couple of shots and comes in 60% early on in the season. Final minute of the first quarter, Celtics Pacers tied at 23. Kareem Rush out there for the first time. He's guarding Ray Allen. Posey knocks over Williams, and Posey has picked up the offensive foul. Sports Ultimate Nightly Highlight Show is here tonight on the FSN Final Score. Extended highlights of the Lakers and the Suns, Kings and the Ducks, and the rest of the night in the NBA and the NHL. The FSN Final Score tonight at 11:30 only on FSN Indiana. So Posey picks up the offensive foul. Rush, Diener, Murphy, Foster, Williams. O'Neal's on the bench with 2 fouls. Nice pass to Jeff, and a blocking foul is called on Boston as Posey picks up a quick second.
Yeah, he wasn't out of the. Yeah, he was standing in the box, I thought. I mean, nice job by Diener running the screen and roll. Hard to see because the official was right there, but I thought on the inside.
Well, he was close. I think his feet were out. And Foster, a couple of free throws at 64% on the year. Indiana Saturday night had its poorest free throw night of the year. Just 13 of 24 at 54%. And when the opposition's taken 10 more than you are and you're hitting 54%, that was a big swing. It was plus 16 for Denver at the free throw line. Brian Scalabrine is on. 7th year out of USC. He's 6'9", and like Posey, he's missed the last couple of games. He's been out with a concussion, so Doc Rivers with a much larger bench than he's had. Pacers lead is 1.
With him, with Brian Scalabrine, he's a good basketball player. Not a great one, but he's a pretty solid player. What you got to worry about with him is his ability to make shots. You don't have to worry about that here.
Garnett is the only starter on the floor now as Tony Allen is in. Rondo is back. And Scalabrine fires in a long three. First lead.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to worry about him making shots because he can make shots.
Well, they've got the big three, but they got a group of players that know their role. And thus far, it's really been those guys that have carried much of the weight here. Diener off the screen. Can't get it. Garnett with 3 seconds. And that will be short, but Boston will have the lead after 1. Celtics, the only unbeaten team in the NBA. They've started the year at 5-0. Plenty of fans enjoying tonight's action. You're watching FSN Indiana, the exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers. Field goal for the big three. Pierce, Allen, and Garnett in quarter number 1. Big three just 8. Rest of the team 18, and Boston has a 2-point lead. Celtics 44% from the field. Indiana 41%. And they missed their last 5 from the field as Scalabrine, his second try at a 3 is no good.
Now it's interesting. What we saw earlier to this part was that you had Garnett as the centerpiece of the second unit. You now have Paul Pierce.
And Mike Dunleavy to the free throw line. A couple of free throws for Mike. Has been in double figures in all 6 games this year. He and Granger both in that category. Jermaine O'Neal's been in double figures in each of the 5 games that he's played. And Troy Murphy has played 3 games coming in, and he's been in double figures in all of those. Garnett with his first rest. And Dunleavy now with 3, and looks to tie it. He does. Rondo, Scalabrine, Tony Allen, Paul Pierce, and Scott Pollard. Here's Pierce with a nice pass, but then he's going to pop the ball out of bounds. It's good to see Tony Allen on the floor. I had a chance to talk to him before the game. I was present last year when he suffered that devastating knee injury at TD Bank North Garden against the Pacers. He was out to a career-high year at almost 12 points a game, tore his ACL, and when he's back in a much different role, he's got that big brace on his left knee. He was a player they counted on a lot last year. This year, Tony Allen's job is to be a valuable contributor off the bench.
Well, I think that's really ultimately what he was going to be. You're right, but I think that brace somewhat is taken away. The real skill that he had was his quickness and his energy. I really thought that's what he brought to the table. So they're at a point they got to try to figure something out with that.
And O'Neal can't get it to go.
Had it in.
Well, he was right there and it rattled out. Now Allen gets to the hoop and can't finish it, but Pollard got the rebound and a foul on the floor.
Been a problem for the Pacers. Everybody has to get to the board. Allen had a tough time finishing. Somehow Pollard, with very little lift, comes up with the rebound. You see Allen go by, and yeah, you can see what happened there, that Kareem Rush just missed time.
I would say for Scott Pollard, a pretty simple haircut from some of the ones that we saw in his time here with the Pacers. Pierce can't get it. Dunleavy scoops in to get the rebound.
Let's just say this one is not as original as some of the other ones.
Well, that was just like O'Neal's. That rattled hard. Scalabrine.
That's all. How about that when it moved left?
He's come off the bench to score 6. And the lead is 3 for Boston.
Good play.
O'Neal right around Pollard. There was a collision.
That was Rondo that blocked that.
O'Neal landed on the floor. No foul was called, and then Rondo called for the walk.
Gotta walk.
Jim O'Brien has been up and active. Was not happy at all with that call.
Well, he's fighting for his court because he's got to try to get some breaks here. You see right there, that's a foul, I think. Oh, they don't give him that. That's Rondo.
Boy, hit his offhand. Knocked him off balance.
But, you know, we talked about this earlier this year. They really have let them play down in the post.
Sean Williams from long range. And Williams, boy, he has shot it well. He's 1 of 2 tonight. He's now 6 of 9 from behind the arc early in the year.
He worked very hard. He stayed here all summer. He worked very hard on his shot. I mean, he was a guy that already could score the ball, but he really worked at that.
Second year out of Memphis, and there's an offensive foul. Scalabrine knocking over Kareem Rush.
Offensive foul, Brian Scalabrine, his first personal.
No, I don't know where he thought he was. I mean, he's a mile outside the box. That's not fair to say, but he's at least 1.5 feet outside the box.
Scott Pollard will leave, and Kendrick Perkins is in.
Scott Pollard is one of the few people that would come up with the number 66. And believe it or not, probably's got some meaning to him.
Dunleavy.
Oh, you had it. He's got to take that shot.
And O'Neal wants to take that. Nice backdoor pass, and Dunleavy scores. He beat Pierce.
Great catch. Because the pass was hard. Dunleavy caught it and was able to put it on the rim.
Boy, O'Neal continues to pass the ball well. He's averaging just over 3 assists per game. He already has 2. Offensive foul called on Boston. It's on Kendrick Perkins. That's his second. And after turning it over just once in the first quarter, that's 4 turnovers now for Boston here early in the second. We've had 2 pretty vocal coaches here, haven't we?
I was trying to see what Doc Rivers was complaining about on that call, because I agree with you. They've been a little more active than you would think. Oh. Let it go.
Diener trying to get one, still can't get it to go.
Yeah, he had a look, and he was right here directly in front of us, and I'm like, this is clear, let it go.
Pierce hunts and scores.
You know what? That was such a tough shot because Diener came over and helped, and Pierce had no choice but to pull up.
Oh, nice drive. Here's Dunleavy, the score, but an offensive foul as Pierce took the charge. So 8:45 to play here in the second, and the Celtics and the Pacers tied at 31. Is here in the first half, and the Celtics and the Pacers tied at 31.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by
Help keep your family Michelin safe with Michelin all-weather premium wiper blades. Buy 2 now and get $10 back. See MichelinWiperOffer.com for stores and rebate form.
Well, we're happy to be with you on this Tuesday night, the first of 4 in 5 nights for the Indiana Pacers. They're trying to spoil the party of the Boston Celtics. With Quinn Buckner, I'm Kristen Airy. Stacey Pates along for the ride tonight. And all in all, it's been a good start for Indiana. Yet the Boston Celtics, it's not been the big 3. It's been the other 9 that have carried the weight thus far.
Well, that was the question all year. It has been the question early in the seasons whether or not they were going to get some help. I think the most important thing to look at it from the Pacers standpoint, you managed to keep the game close because you don't want this team to run away. And if you can keep it close, you'll take your chances. You get it the last 4 or 5 minutes, and you're in the area where you can win the game. That's what you'll take because that's about being competitive and then making plays.
And they spot Scalabrine again, and then Williams ran him down. And that's one of those that's too bad because Scalabrine, when he launched it, it had no chance of going in.
You've kind of learned that being around here. You can tell it really didn't have much of a chance. Now, Sean challenges the shot, but you can see he's out of control. And the reason that he's out of control is because he's got so far to come. And he's got to come and break himself down and then just go straight up. When you jump from as far away as he is, it's like action-reaction. You can't start that far away and then try to make up that distance and be able to stop yourself.
Williams has picked up his second. O'Neal plays with 2. Harrison was on the floor briefly and picked up a couple of fouls. And the good news is Scalabrine, who had hit a couple of threes, he had a foot on the line. So they only got 2 free throw tries.
Well, he was trying to get 3. You call it, he got his hand up, screaming for three. The officials paid him no attention.
Murphy, the step back, and he was hit on the arm by Scalabrine.
Ryan Scalabrine with a foul, his second. Two on the Celtics.
Second on Scalabrine, and Troy Murphy, who has not made a field goal, but has made a couple of free throws, is there. Started, got popped in the nose early on and had to leave. Pacers 5-game holiday ticket packs include 2 tickets to 5 games plus an autographed player photo. The Mike Dunleavy package includes games against Detroit and Sacramento. The Ike Diagu package includes Cleveland and Miami. For details or to order, call 917-2500 or log on to Pacers.com.
That's the Ike and the Mike and Ike.
And he was off to a great start. 14 points, shooting the ball well. Torn left calf muscle. And a defensive 3-second violation. Results in a technical free throw for the Boston Celtics. And Kevin Garnett will shoot it. Has always been a terrific free throw shooter. Averaged almost, that was my jinx, I guess.
Take that.
21 points a game career in Minnesota. 9 straight years, QB. 20 points, at least 20 points, and averaging a double-double.
Yeah, he's just a terrific player. I mean, they've got 3 perennial all-stars on their team. That makes a huge difference.
Oh, nice handoff to Allen. Allen is fouled.
And I'm glad he got fouled. Oh, they call it on Jermaine?
I think 17.
Oh, they call him 17.
So Dunleavy picks it up.
Well, that's not much better because it's his second. But I'm glad he fouled him because Jermaine O'Neal was coming over and he was going to pick up his third. So I'd much rather at this point Dunleavy get his second and Jermaine O'Neal get his third.
Well, you mentioned the All-Stars. Garnett 10 times an All-Star. Pierce 5 times. Allen 7. That's 22.
Yeah, perennial All-Stars. You know, and the only team really in the league that's got that going for them. You got teams that have 2 All-Stars, but not guys who are there on that kind of basis.
Oh, nice find by Granger to a wide open Murphy who can't get it. Got the rebound.
Yeah, they can't put it down in there. All those guys, they're waiting on him to put it down. He threw that pass and it was in between.
That was the 5th turnover of the quarter for Boston.
Doc Rivers had already had Ray Allen up, but that pass was to no one.
So Scalabrine is on. Kendrick Perkins sits on the bench. A couple of fouls. Dunleavy looks back door to Tinsley. He tried to feed the ball into O'Neal and then wrestling with Garnett. And they will call a foul on Tinsley.
They might have called jump ball at the first, but because it escalated into more than that, they end up calling the foul. It's right here.
Now JT was just working for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it looked to me like he's fighting for the ball.
He was in there, didn't do anything. And then Garnett tried to rip it away. Now that turnaround jumper, and Garnett has 6. He has 6. Pierce has 6. Allen has yet to score.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You get it there. He's going to have to move the ball. See, you can't try to beat these teams off the dribble. That's not what the offense is made for. The offense is made to hit a guy, cut, and move. But when you get people to start holding it 1, 2, if you hit 3, it's time for you to start moving the basketball again because at that point you either know you got a shot or you got a pass or you got to be dribbling to get somewhere.
And Garnett knocks it away. Kevin Garnett all time ranks in the top 50 in scoring, rebounds, block shots, and steals.
He missed him.
2 to shoot, but they've got to get it in. Now 1 to shoot. Tinsley, and that's a shot clock violation.
24-second shot clock violation.
And so Boston will have the ball as we approach the halfway mark of the second. Doc Rivers, his 4th season in Boston. Coached in Orlando. And has been pretty successful in 8 years. 4 times he's had teams in the playoffs. Pierce.
He's such a tough cover, and you've got to put Danny Granger on him. And, you know, you've got these other 2 guys to go to. It's a tough deal.
Tinsley works and Rondo steals.
Well, that's what Rondo does. Both of these. He's fast, but he's got extremely long arms. He's one of the top steals guys in the league.
Pierce had it blocked by Granger. Indiana runs. We haven't seen that a lot tonight. And Granger out of control is called for the offensive foul, and that will give it right back to Boston. 3 turnovers by the Pacers, and the Celtics now have opened up a 4-point lead.
It's brought to you by your Central Indiana Dodge dealers and by Corona.
Beautiful night in Central Indiana. That's the State House, and 3 of the defensive players for the Indianapolis Colts in the house tonight. Robert Mathis, Gary Brackett, and Marlon Jackson. Left to right, enjoying and supporting their cohorts wearing the blue and gold, the Indiana Pacers. Good to see those guys at the field house tonight. When we talk defense, Rajon Rondo, a pretty good defender as well for the Boston Celtics. The steal from Tinsley. Look how quick he is, but could not convert it into points for Boston.
Well, you take a look at him. He's just 21 years old. He's starting to get a better understanding. You know, the guys are starting to have confidence in him. The big 3 are having some confidence in him. He's not a great scorer, but he can create some extra opportunities for him. And he had a 19-rebound game in college. So he's a guy that rebounds his position very well.
4-point lead is the largest for Boston. Allen with Sean Williams defending, and O'Neal was there. Garnett, the offensive rebound and the save, and Rondo's going to attack and knock over Sean Williams for an offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Now, there was miscommunication on that. Good news. You've got J.O. back there to at least defend.
Yeah, you do. You have some help back there. Rondo takes the ball fairly deep, and what you see is people stepping up to try to take the offense out of their game.
Indiana has really struggled here the last 6 minutes. Tinsley's jumper no good. O'Neal with the offensive rebound.
You got to try to get to the rim, though.
Granger throws it away.
Yeah, the tough challenge is getting to the rim and knowing where that opportunity is.
Well, these teams combined for 3 turnovers in the first quarter. They've combined for 13 here in the second. Pierce. And there's Scalabrine.
Nice job by Sean Williams to get that ball out of there. Otherwise, Pierce had a rebound.
Pacers have just 2 second quarter field goals.
When you talk to the big 3, you know, they talk about their defense. They don't talk about much of their offense. They figure they'd get a shot.
And you know what? They've turned this game into a half-court game as Granger uses every bit of the rim in the backcourt.
Yeah, they've really slowed the game down, and it's going to be interesting to see the adjustment that the Pacers are going to have to make. They've got to look for good shots, and they've got to stay solid on the defensive end.
Garnett clearing space, and O'Neal's picked up his 3rd. So it's been a tough half for O'Neal. He picked up 2 very early fouls. Now he picks up his 3rd. Nothing offensively to show for it. He's 0 of 5 from the field, but he does have 3 rebounds and 2 assists along with a blocked shot. And he'll have to take a seat for the remainder of the half.
Well, I think he's actually done a pretty good job staying out of foul trouble, considering he's had to guard Kevin Garnett. But one of the things you get in these situations, opportunity for David Harrison.
David Harrison returns.
Harrison back on the floor for Indiana. The Pacers open their season with an overtime thriller against Gilbert Arenas and the Washington Wizards. What will the Pacers and the Wiz do for Act 2? Find out tomorrow night when they square off in D.C. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Stacey Pates and Pacers Live on the exclusive home of the Pacers, FSN, Indiana. 1 of 2 for Garnett. 3-point Celtics lead. Tinsley had that deflected by Scalabrine.
He's going to have to get back because he.
Rondo. You give him that shot all day.
All day. I was going to say I'd much rather have him shooting than Ray Allen.
Granger in transition hits it with Pierce knocking him down. Tied at 38. Granger breaking out of a shooting slump. 5 of 5 tonight, including 2 of 2 behind the arc, and the Celtics throw it away. Granger in double figures for a 7th consecutive game. He has 13. Now Garnett's out there on him. He takes him right to the basket. Tough shot. Rondo looking. Pierce. Fouled out front by Tinsley.
He's trying to say that that's a flagrant one. I just thought, yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was a good hard foul.
Second now on Tinsley.
And that's what Doc Rivers is trying to say. It's a flagrant foul. I'm not sure it's a flagrant foul. Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, it could be called that. Thank goodness it wasn't. But what all Jamal was trying to do was keep him from getting a shot up. He wanted to make sure he fouled him where he didn't get a shot up.
Pierce will have a couple of free throws. Trying to become the first Celtic in double figures.
It wasn't like he pulled him down or held on to him.
Just over 3 to play here in the second. And Pierce.
They're booing for the fans, and I don't know about booing. You're entitled to do that, but I know Paul Pierce, what he did was disrespectful, in my opinion, of the game. Why he's doing a push-up after a foul shot, I have no idea.
So Granger, Foster, Tinsley, Harrison, and Williams. Harrison, the advantage on Scalabrine, draws the foul. He'll get the free throws after we come back from a break. Danny Granger's hit a couple from behind the arc as a game-high 13. The Celtics have a first-half 2-point lead. A great shooting start in his first 2 games. Not so well in the last 3, but Quinn Buckner, a different story tonight.
Well, he's 5 of 6, and he's made both of his 3-point shots. He's found a way to the rim, but you can see he's just so much more comfortable with his shot. He's really turned into a terrific player in his ability to score the ball. He's a player that plays both sides of the basketball.
Averaged 7.5 points a game as a rookie, almost 14 last year. And here early in the season, he's up to nearly 19 points a game. David Harrison will shoot free throws. Came in 9 of 12, but has missed both of them tonight.
Harrison at the line for your face.
Pierce is still shaking his head about something.
Oh, he's clapping. Yeah, but he's happy that his team, I think, is in this position because the Pacers have been really good at making them play at their pace, and that's what you got to continue to do. As David Harrison misses the first foul shot.
Three points now for Harrison off the bench, and it's a 1-point Boston lead. Right around Granger, and Pierce finishes.
Yeah, he thought he was going to have some help on that side, and his teammates, and this is where teammates have got to be helpful. If you're there and you've been supporting the defensive teammate, you got to let him know that you cleared it.
Murphy the bomb for three, and Scalabrine the rebound, and then Granger picks up the foul and will walk the other way and shoot free throws.
I mean, you see right there, his teammates cleared out of that position. See everybody come out, and David Harrison tries to get back, but before either he or Murphy can get there, that was in the rim.
Yeah, Jim O'Brien, again, stressing defense, and he likes the up-tempo, high-octane offense, but believes it starts with defense and knows that that's going to be a work in progress because there are rules, there are rotations, and early on we've seen it work and we've seen it not work.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is really awareness and concentration on the defensive end, and that's the part that makes people that's tough for some people because most of these guys got here on their success on the defensive end. But that's really what it is, concentration and awareness. Good call. He grabbed him around the side.
That'll be on Garnett. That's his first and the fourth on the Celtics, so one more, and Indiana will shoot the penalty. Williams and Diener along with Kareem Rush, Murphy and Harrison. Well, they'd love to get the ball in Rush's hands.
Yeah, you see Ray Allen making a real good play. That's a foul.
Yeah, they reach in again. That's Allen and Rondo. And they'll call it on Rondo. That's, three. And so Rush will go to the free throw line. And Rondo will take a seat.
Eddie House back in the lineup for Boston.
Eddie House is back. House has come off the bench to score 5. Right now, when you look at House and Scalabrine off the bench, have hurt Indiana.
Well, Danny Ainge, who I talked to a little bit before the game, felt like he's pretty comfortable with what he has off the bench. He knows that House is a guy that can knock down shots, and as is Scalabrine. What they are going to have to withstand, which is what every team has to withstand, is what happens with some injuries. But when you start out with 3 perennial All-Stars, you may be able to make up for some of that.
Pierce fouled by Williams. And
they count that? No way. He took 2 dribbles, and he got fouled on the first one.
Sean Williams has picked up his third, and Pierce now has 14.
Well, that's the end of the play right there. But I thought he took 2 dribbles and got fouled at the end of the first one, not the end of the second one.
15 points in the first half for Paul Pierce. And the Celtics have opened up a 5-point lead. Indiana trying to get on track offensively, and Harrison the foul. That's his third.
Yeah, that is.
So Harrison and Williams on the bench or on the floor with 3. O'Neal is on the bench with 3. And Danny Granger has 3. Jeff Foster is on. David Harrison talking to Coach O'Brien. Again, fouls have plagued him throughout his career, and here early had a very nice game to open the season as Pierce gets there and scores again.
Well, he's got a guy on him that's got 3 fouls and is not really known for his defense, but he's long enough to make some challenges. But Paul Pierce is just a tough cover.
Murphy's going to take it in the lane, bank it up, no good, but a good hustling play by Troy.
You don't want to dribble that. Garnett.
He's looking for help. And Garnett called for the foul. Good work there by Troy Murphy. That's the movement, that's the activity that Indiana looking for in the offense.
Well, you can see right there that Kevin Garnett got him around the waist. Well, actually around the upper chest.
And Garnett has picked up his second. Murphy, all of his points at the free throw line. Now 5 of 5. 22nd timeout taken by Jim O'Brien and the Pacers with 1:07 to play here in the second quarter. Paul Pierce has 17 to lead the Celtics, and we're back in this building on Saturday night after a pair away from Conseco Fieldhouse. The Utah Jazz made a surprising run to the Western Conference Finals last season. They're looking to go one step further this season. Saturday night, former Illinois star Darren Williams and the Jazz make their one and only appearance here at Conseco Fieldhouse. For tickets, log on to Pacers.com. Well, the Boston Celtics had their training camp overseas like a number of the NBA teams, so the first chance to see the Big Three was over in Europe, and they had a sightseeing opportunity in Italy.
Yeah, that's the Celtics match there, Coliseum, all of that.
No, Paul Pierce did not go to USC wearing that
Trojan look.
He's a rock chalk Jayhawk.
Yeah, he is, and he's from California, so none of that you find in California nor Kansas. Toto.
Both free throws good by Murphy. 5-point Boston lead. Final minute of the first half. Paul Pierce has 11 of Boston's last 14. Now they double team him. They leave Scalabrini open, and he hops one off the rim.
Well, they came and they did the right thing because Pierce had gotten warm, and Jim O'Brien knows if Pierce gets warm, he's a tough cover.
Oh, look at the drive by Murphy. He wanted the foul, and then he and Foster collide.
Yeah, the ball and the ball ended up coming off of Foster.
Well, turnovers a problem for Indiana. They have 9 of them here in the quarter, and that's what hurt them in the second half in the loss to Denver. Indiana had 21 for the game, and 13 came in the second half, and now another foul on Williams.
That's his
and
fourth.
you got it. It's going to be one of those nights. Already 33 fouls have been called.
Yeah, well, you could tell it was going to be a slow-paced game, which really kind of favors what Boston wants to do. They've got size that puts a lot of pressure on the Pacers, and obviously you can start getting guys with 3 and 4 fouls.
Pierce hits the free throw. Andre Owens on the floor for Indiana. Second NBA season. First year with the Pacers, the Indianapolis native.
Really small lineup. You got both small guards, rushes on the floor. So you're basically playing Kareem Rush at 3. And you have your 2 guards who are barely 6 feet tall. It's a small lineup, but the league has gone that way. And what the Patriots have to be really careful of, because who's going to cover Pierce? Because he's the one that's starting to get away from him. So it's going to be Kareem Rush now. They got to figure out what to do on the offensive end as well.
LSU rookie Glenn Big Baby Davis on the floor now, and it went right through Rush's hands.
Well, this is what Pierce wants. I thought it'd be great for Rush to score right there.
He has owned the second quarter, 15 of his 19. Pierce. And he's fouled. Well, that's too easy to just give that up and put him on the line.
You know what? He's just that tough a cuffer. And for Rush's ability to score the basketball, his strength is not being able to defend people. And let's again say, Paul Pierce is a
very good.
all-star. He is a tough cuffer.
Number 10 pick back in 1998. Twice has been a member of the third team.
And the truth is that there are a number of teams that let him slip to 10. I remember I was doing the draft on ESPN radio, and I'm watching this guy drop thinking they must be missing what I saw at Kansas. He was working everybody at Kansas. He dropped to 10. And Rick Pitino and those guys at that point, they thought they're just gone to heaven.
Right into the lap of the Boston Celtics, and now, after a couple of years of struggles, it's Christmas time for Pierce. 21 first half points and a 9-point first half lead. Sean Williams looking for help, and Pierce the steal.
No, don't go.
And nearly made it from half court. So the second quarter, not one that Indiana would like, but they've got 24 more minutes as the Celtics lead it by 9. You're watching FSN Indiana, the exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers.
Paul Pierce had 15 of his 21 points in that second quarter. He already has a double-double, adding in 11. He's 11 from the free throw line, which is quite impressive, as he did a couple of nice little push-ups for the crowd earlier. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, a little bit later on in the game. But Danny Granger was one guy who was also impressive for the Indiana Pacers. This is a guy who was able to get it done in the midst of pressure. Nice little dish from Jeff Foster to Danny Granger. He's the only Pacer in double figures with 13. That is the safe auto breakaway drive of the half. Indiana Pacers down 52-43. And the Indiana Pacers have some work to do in the second half.
The biggest lead of the night belongs to the Boston Celtics as we get ready for the third quarter here on FSN Indiana. Celtics 52 and the Pacers 43 with Stacey Pates and Quinn Buckner. I'm Chris Denari. Our first half scoring leaders brought to you tonight by your local Chrysler dealers. Pierce with 21 to lead Boston. Got some help from Brian Scalabrine off the bench. He had 9. The Pacers led by Danny Granger with 13. Dunleavy and Murphy with 6 each. And of significance, Quinn, Jermaine O'Neal, who was in foul trouble a lot in half number 1. He played just 11 minutes. He was scoreless and missed all 5 of his field goal tries.
The good thing to think about that is that he didn't get him in the first half. There's an opportunity in the second half. And usually when guys don't score who have scored all of their life, they tend to be a little bit more productive when they get the next opportunity.
They go right to Garnett with O'Neal with 3 fouls. He forces him into that turnaround, and Granger got the rebound.
And you just assume have him take a turnaround. And you'd rather have him take it the way Jermaine had him take it, because he doesn't want to go that way.
Oh, nice rebound there by O'Neal. He's going to go right back up and get his first 2 for the night.
Well, he went up strong, and he's going to have to be active. He got his first 2 there.
Both teams start with the lineups that started the game. Ray Allen also did not score in the first half for Boston. Now a defensive 3-second violation, the second of the game against Indiana. It's on Troy Murphy. Technical foul. Free throw now for Boston. We looked at the stats. Indiana 33% from the field in the first half. And you made a great point. We talk about the scoring from Garnett, Allen, and Pierce at nearly 70 points a game. They're averaging nearly 108. They lead the league in field goal shooting offense. We shouldn't forget they lead the league in field goal shooting defense.
Yeah, they've really tried to work very hard on their defense. That slows the game down for the Pacers, which means execution is paramount when you play against a team that's this good defensively.
And this is one of those games that Jim O'Brien looks at. He believes that his team to win games has to have a high volume of possessions. That has not happened here.
No, because the thing that makes it difficult, one, it's hard to rebound against this team, and you don't get a lot of steals against them because they don't turn it over that much.
See, this is where Indiana would like to run, but look at Rondo back there sort of slowing things down.
And all of the guys they have on the floor can run back, too. So as soon as you start messing with the ball, you got the trouble. Because these guys all have quick hands.
Allen is on the board for the first time. And they have opened up a 12-point lead.
You got to take him to the post. You can't shoot a jump shot.
Oh, Perkins got a piece of that.
By accident. I mean, Dunleavy was driving in there and went by him.
They already had 7 blocked shots tonight. Here's Murphy. Missed it. Tipped out by Garnett. Or make that Perkins. That's another. We'll see if the stat monitor changes, but that was close to another block shot.
What they have, if you look at all of their guys on the floor, for the most part, they got length. I mean, Perkins has real length. Pacers just get another turnover. Rondo has length. Garnett has length. And really, the guy that's deceptive is Pierce. Pierce has good length. You got to believe he's got to start looking at the basket because he didn't score in the first half.
Allen, all 3 of his points here in this half. Tinsley spotting and hitting from long range. He has struggled this year shooting the ball, but a big shot there by Tinsley to knock the lead down to 9.
Well, it's good. It breaks a little bit of the drought there. Maybe somebody else can get one going.
That's a foul. Perkins shoving Murphy under the basket. And Kendrick Perkins has picked up the foul. That's his 4th.
Garnett takes the shot and it'll come in from this side here. You see, just as Murphy has to go up, he gets nudged in the back.
Trying to have his way, and he lost the ball. O'Neal. Rondo with Garnett, fouled by Murphy. And free throws now for the Celtics.
Put a lot of pressure on you. You see coming up with the ball in the middle. So they're able to get 2 big guys out here, and all of a sudden Murphy's got to react to the fact that Rondo looked as though he was going to the basket and threw it to Kevin Garnett.
Garnett has extended his double-figure streak now to 404 consecutive games. That's 8th in NBA history. If you're thinking about how far he'd have to go to be number 1, well, he's not even halfway there. Michael Jordan, 840 consecutive games.
Ooh, look at that.
Dunleavy for 3. Morris shooting night of the year for Indiana. And then a foul is called. It's on Dunleavy.
Yeah, that's a good call. This has got to be a side out.
Well, Indiana on Saturday night against Denver shot 57% in that first half, led by as many as 25. In the second half, they shot only 28%, and that's had some lingering carryover effect here tonight. Pierce. Indiana would like to push the tempo, but they've not been able to. Look how quickly Boston gets back in transition.
Yeah, you've got, they're very athletic in their own right.
And O'Neal has his second field goal. They'd like to get him on track.
Yeah, but what he's got to be able to do is everybody has to cut quickly because you can't do it halfway. And then he's got to go quickly. Otherwise, they'll double team him.
Here's Allen. O'Neal was chasing, and Allen high up off the glass.
Shot a teardrop off the glass.
Well, Boston has only really been challenged in one game this year. That was in Toronto. They had to win by a 3-pointer in overtime. And here's a tip. Dunleavy, but Pierce had it. They won by 3. Everything else has been by double figures or more. It's sort of the old force out there, Troy Murphy.
I mean, right here, this is a teardrop off the glass. Doc Rivers is trying to get Ray Allen. Take a look at Ray Allen. Doc Rivers is trying to get that to be
He's trying to get a free
in motion. Yeah, he's trying to say he was in the shooting motion. So it was a good foul by Troy Murphy.
Doc Rivers, 13 years a player in the league, 8 of those in Atlanta. Played at Marquette, so he and Travis Diener have something in common.
Well, they called this play. Ray Allen told him to take it. He said, drive it, drive it. And that's why they go back and give each other 5. Because Ray Allen just told him to drive the ball because he knew the help was going to come and leave him free.
And it's a 14-point Boston lead, and Allen, after a quiet first half, has 8 here in the third quarter. Sean Williams is on. Williams is going to fire the 3. And Garnett is there for the rebound. Has led the NBA the last 4 seasons in rebounds. That's in Minnesota. Trying to continue that in the green of the Boston Celtics. Williams out ahead. Flips it in.
Nice job by Tinsley to advance the ball, too.
Well, you've got to get some cheap baskets against Boston because they give up very little in that half court.
They do a nice job of closing it down with their length.
Well, we're already halfway through the third. Allen again.
Yeah, he's now got Williams, who got him kind of in between.
Allen with 10 here, all in the third quarter. Tinsley, the advantage against Rondo, finds Foster.
See, that's where, in the long run, that's where Jamal can be effective in the post. Much like Mark Jackson used to be. Because you got the defense collapsing on you, and you can find people. And this is the play they ran 2 plays ago. Now this is the 3rd time they've run it.
They help, and Allen is wide open, but misses.
Yeah, that's the same play they ran that time. The difference was Paul Pierce split the defense.
Oh, nice pass, Tinsley. But Williams can't get it.
Yeah, he tried to dunk it when he probably should have laid that one up.
Pierce back the other way. They whip it inside to Garnett. And he walks. So Boston turns it over, but the story of the third has been the play of Ray Allen. He has 10 points in the third. Boston leads it by 12. Tuesday night in central Indiana, and the Boston Celtics in town for the first of 2 meetings here this year. They have opened up a 12-point third quarter lead, and much of that here in this quarter behind the right hand or right arm of Ray Allen in his first year with Boston. All 10 of his points have come here in the third quarter. He hit the game winner in their closest game of the year, that 3-point win against Toronto. He had a season-high 33. Looked pretty good here in the first 7 minutes of the third.
Yeah, he's looked to get his shot going. He can load up on a shot as quick as anybody in the league. But, you know, when you've got those other weapons out there, it makes a big difference. He goes and tries to act like he's going to get the ball as it's to be taken out of bounds. It was the Pacers' ball.
Travis Diener is on for the Pacers, playing with O'Neal, Granger, Williams, and Foster. Celtics led after 1 by 9 at the half. Foster, the jump hook.
Well, it was a good play out of the timeout. And what Jim O'Brien was doing was he was going to make Kevin Garnett have to guard Jeff Foster. Because if they don't, what you'll find is that when Jermaine O'Neal gets the ball, Kevin Garnett won't even guard him.
Garnett. And O'Neal has the rebound. 5th rebound for O'Neal. Granger and Foster each have 6, and Williams, that's short. Indiana already with 10 offensive rebounds tonight. That's 6 more than Boston has.
Offensive.
Garnett clearing space, trying to score, and he's called for the foul.
Nice job by the defense to force him to have to clear space, because that's what they did. They took the space from him. I mean, they'll let you play here, and Jermaine O'Neal, who blocks shots left-handed, puts a lot of pressure on you. And really, there wasn't much Garnett could do.
Pacers have got to find a way to score as O'Neal has it blocked by Perkins. That's the 8th block now for Boston, and look who's in transition.
You got to get to him. I'm telling you, he shoots threes as easy. You think Reggie Miller shoots threes easy? Which, by the way, I think is the only guy that Ray Allen really trails in terms of shooting threes.
He's number 2 as Granger is fouled by Pierce, and he'll have 3.
I mean, right there, Kendrick Perkins gets the block, and then they come at you so hard coming the other way that people collapse. But you see, he finds Ray Allen, who loads up before Williams can get out there.
Well, the only guy that Ray Allen is chasing is Reggie Miller. And Reggie hit over 2,500 in his 18-year career. Allen enters the year some 600 behind number 31. And if Allen can stay healthy and he has another 3, 4, 5 years to play, then that record for Reggie is in jeopardy.
Well, we'll let it be in jeopardy, but Allen is a terrific shooter. But you think he'll play another 4 or 5 years?
I don't know. Allen is 32. He's in his 12th year. If he goes as long as Reggie did, there's 6.
You're right. If he goes as long
when he's been healthy, he has made about 200 a year.
Like a young Kristen Nair.
I'll tell you, the question is, and we've talked about this with Boston, is will they be healthy? Pierce, 47 games last year. Ray Allen, 55 games. It's an 82-game schedule.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I think that's their biggest challenge. What they do have that most people don't have is Danny Granger picks up his 4th foul. They've got three stars. Doc Rivers has, so 1 goes down. They're like everybody else. They got 2 then.
Yeah, last year they were in trouble. Pierce went down. They were in trouble. Pierce avoids a double team, got it, and the foul.
You got to do a better job of closing off the inside there. The guy is on the post. If he's on the post, there's no way he can turn this way. I mean, you can't reach here. You got to get down there and force him to throw it out to your man.
Indiana won the season series a year ago 3-1. Won the last 3 after this guy, Paul Pierce, went off in a big Celtics win to start the year. 114-88. The rest of the way it was all Indiana, though the games here at Conseco Fieldhouse were very competitive. Doc Rivers had a very young team as Granger makes Pierce pay.
Yeah, he really does, and it's a pretty big play there. Because this was starting to get away, keeps it close enough for the Pacers to at some point make a run, which you're going to see at least 2 more runs by the Pacers.
Stacey Pates mentioned at the half, Indiana trailed at the half for the first time all year as Allen is going to watch that bounce out of bounds, and Indiana will have the ball, and they'll do so when we come back from a break. 2:52 to play in the 3rd, and the Celtics lead it by 13.
It's easy to talk about how much the Celtics changed offensively overnight, but Doc Rivers is most proud of his defense. Around the Boston huddle, I don't even think they mentioned the word offense moments ago. He was talking about continuing to play strong defense. With the addition of Kevin Garnett, he told me they improved greatly defensively, and that's something that he continues to tell his athletes. And you can just look down the bench at the Celtics, and that's what they're talking about as well. Play defense, play strong, force Indiana to take tough shots, and concentrate on defense.
Well, one of the things that they did with Kevin Garnett, you've got a guy who is active just because he plays that way, but he's verbally active. So he's telling you where you need to go. The other thing they did was they went out and got Tom Thibodeau, who is a defensive-minded coach, because Doc Rivers knew that was going to be the challenge, because they had enough guys offensively who had great offensive instincts. The challenge was to be able to keep people from scoring a lot of points against them.
O'Neal. And Garnett has another rebound. Boston coming in tonight plus 16 in points. Scoring average versus defensive average, and plus 11 in field goal percentage. And that's what they are tonight. They're shooting 44%. The Pacers at 33% as Garnett is called for the foul. And if you have Rondo. Okay, they call it on Rondo. If you can be plus 11 in field goal percentage, I mean, most teams are plus 2, plus 3. That's a big number.
We will agree that they've really done an outstanding job. I mean, it's early in the year, but their defense as we've watched it here, it has been really solid.
Rondo called for the foul, not Garnett, as I said. 2 minutes to play here in the third. O'Neal and Williams out there with Diener, Murphy, and Dunleavy. And Garnett. Boy, he is
a load.
He is a terrific shooter out there.
He is just a load because he can do so many things. He's 6'11".
He's got 13. Pierce has 23, and Allen has 13.
Take it. Yes, sir. Take it. Rondo was out of position.
But Indiana cannot afford to trade baskets right now. They've got to get some stops. Right through the hands of Perkins. He caught it. And then the wily old veteran picks up the 5th foul on Sean Williams. Well, get Pacers coverage online at Pacers.com. Game previews, recaps, Ask the Pacers, and more. Get it all at Pacers.com. Conrad Brunner. Bruno with all the work that he does on Pacers.com. Great one-stop shopping area to pick up all your information on the blue and gold is Ray Allen. With 14 now in the third. Williams is going to leave. He's got 5 fouls. Granger has 1 less.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for the Pacers just being able to stay on the floor.
Dunleavy. That 3 is short. O'Neal the rebound. Cutting is Dunleavy. Got his own rebound again.
Makes a good choice there. Get it out of there because Kevin Garnett was waiting for that.
And O'Neal with a right-hand hook. He's had to work hard tonight for his 6 points.
But they continue to work. Because that's really what gives you the best chance. I don't care what you're looking at here. You still got to have water.
Eddie House is on. Can't get it. Allen keeps it alive. The Pacers have done a pretty good job of keeping Boston off the offensive glass. That's only their 5th. And there's Allen.
Short.
That's a foul. Perkins. That will be his 5th. This week on Sports Science, how much range can an NFL receiver cover? How quickly does an NFL quarterback react in the pocket? We reveal the hidden mysteries of sports like you've never seen before. It's the best of Sports Science, Sunday at midnight, only on FSN Indiana. Scott Pollard on, had a field goal in the first half. And Brian Scalabrine is also back, and he hurt Indiana with 9 points.
But, you know, this is a pretty good position here. I mean, it's not the position you want to be in. You'd much rather to be up. Get a 3.
Oh, he got up in the air, and then O'Neal's foul.
Yeah, he was looking for someone in the corner, and they moved on him. So he really got lucky because he went in the air.
And at the last second, Diener, his feet almost hitting the floor, got the ball to O'Neal.
Got it to O'Neal. Probably have Kareem Rush coming in to get Danny Granger because Granger's got 4. You're going to have to play defense here. So I'm not sure you want to risk Granger having to guard somebody and getting a 5th foul with less than 4 seconds in the third quarter.
And that is the call. Jeff Foster will also come in and check in for Indiana, and he'll replace Troy Murphy, who has 3 personal fouls. Foster, one of the few Pacers tonight that does not have a foul. Well, Boston has played this at a tempo that Doc Rivers likes. Even though they come in at 108 points per game, they know that Indiana wanted to run, and they've slowed the Pacers down tonight.
This guy's quick.
Well, nice job there by Foster as Rondo got quickly to the basket, but the Celtics have the lead. They've improved a 9-point halftime lead by 2. You're watching FSN Indiana, the exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers. It's the first meeting of the year between the Pacers and the Celtics. Indiana got off to a nice start behind Danny Granger, led by as many as 6 in the first quarter. But the second quarter belonged to Paul Pierce, and Boston led by 9 at the half. In the third, Ray Allen scored all 15 of his points. They led by as many as 16. They lead now by 11 as we head to the fourth. And it's time for the fourth quarter. And time to bring it home with Pulte Homes. Visit Pulte.com to find and visit a model home. Go inside one and register to win a family 4-pack of tickets to an upcoming Pacers home game. With Stacey Pates and Quinn Buckner, our entire FSN Indiana crew, I'm Chris Denary. O'Neal against his former teammate Pollard, and J.O. walks.
Yeah, he was trying to load up on Scott Pollard, who knows how to play Jermaine O'Neal, and they came and double teamed Jermaine. And Jim O'Brien knows at that point it's a difficult situation to get out of. But you know, you're looking at an 11-point game. If you can hold and get yourself 2 good scores, it's a different game.
Well, they make Pierce fade away. And rebound goes to Boston.
That's because Diener was in there trying to get a rebound and ended up knocking it out. Good to see Diener in there on the glass. Little guy on the glass.
Travis Diener, first season with Indiana, 2 years in Orlando, where he spent most of his time in street clothes on the inactive list. Pacers glad to get he and Kareem Rush. Both are on the floor. Jumper by Posey for 3, no good. Rush got the rebound. Here's Kareem. He outraces 3 Celtics, but can't get it.
Well, he's going to have to run back, too.
Tony Allen.
Boy, he kept his hand on top of the ball, but I'm telling you, other than that.
And O'Neal has to foul. That's his 4th. And Scott Pollard will shoot a couple.
Jermaine O'Neal will foul his 4th. First one, Pacers.
Scott Pollard, Paul Pierce, teammates at Kansas. And now reunited in the green jerseys of the Boston Celtics. One of those franchises in sports that when you see the jersey, you know the team, the Yankees, the Red Sox. I mean, you wore that jersey and it hasn't changed.
No, it really hasn't. I mean, they've got a little shamrock on the back, but the color, it's really the color scheme that becomes kind of the brand. You know, you wear that's just a different kind of feeling having worn that color.
Tinsley back on the floor. Diener sits down, and Jamal's shot short. Foster the rebound, left it short. And he ran right into Dunleavy.
They're going to call this on Posey.
Doc Rivers talking to Leon Wood.
Oh, no, they call it on Pollard. He's in there.
First on the Celtics.
Dunleavy was very slow to get up.
He got conked on the head. That's what happened to him. And he's already had stitches in the side of his lip. What happened was when Scott Pollard went to rebound the ball, he didn't get it, but you had your arm up, and he just dropped it, and he ended up dropping it right on the top of the head of Mike Dunleavy. Right there is his rhythm shot.
And he hit it. It's been a quiet second half for Mike, but that's 8 now. And Indiana's within 10. I mean, it's been one of those games, Quinn, that the margin has seemed a lot greater than it really is.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying earlier, you know, you get a couple stops, and particularly with this group, you know, you can get some things going for you because the challenge that Boston's going to have, if the Pacers do what it looks like they're doing, and that's why they're putting Ray Allen in now, it may be hard to get warmed up again. But they're putting Ray Allen back in now.
Pierce is the only one of the big 3. Here's Rush, foot on the line, jumper short.
That would have been a big time play for the Pacers there.
Blocking foul called on Dunleavy. And Paul Pierce to the free throw line.
Mike Dunleavy with a foul. His 4th.
That's a tough call there.
Ray Allen returning for Boston.
I thought he was maintaining the position he had, and you can be moving to maintain the position you have.
All 6 of his games this year now for Pierce, 20 points or better. Had 28 in the last outing in New Jersey, and that was his season high, and he's now at 25.
He also has 13 foul shots, of which he's yet to miss one.
That free throw number is The ugly number again for the Pacers, and it has continued to be here early in the season. Free throw attempts by the opponent. Allen is back on the floor. All of his points in the third, 15 of them. O'Neal taking Eddie House inside, rush against Pierce. And Tinsley, who has hit 1-3. Look at Pierce get that rebound.
Oh, he really did.
To Pollard, who got it. And Scott Pollard off the bench. His first 5 points of the year. Dunleavy. And they're going to call an offensive foul.
Oh, that's a tough one there.
And that's his 5th.
He's had a tough time tonight trying to get it going. Only 3 of 12, but he was trying to make a play going toward the rim. The Posey's there.
Lead is 14 for Boston. 3 minutes gone by here in the final quarter. Allen. Pacers want to run, but look, Boston already with 4 players back.
Well, they're running back right away because they know that's what the Pacers have to do. And that's why Danny has got to look for shots in his rhythm from there.
It's the 4th time this year Granger has scored 20 points or more. We're only 7 games deep into the season. Last time, last year, 12 times was all Granger did it.
Well, this is usually about the time a player finally figures out what he is as a player.
House. O'Neal got it. Foster had a nice box out on Pollard. Now Indiana with a chance to get it into single digits, Quinn.
Oh, he fouled. Oh.
Don't count the basket. Call the foul. Offensive on Danny Granger. Crowd does not like it at all. Granger picks up his 5th. Celtics still have the lead. Danny Granger has scored 21 points tonight for Indiana, yet they trailed by 11 to Boston, 81-70, and he thought he had 22 and 23 on the possession before the timeout.
You can see Pollard is there set before Danny left his feet, and Danny Granger thought that he got there and was looking for an and-one situation.
The 11th offensive foul that's been called tonight. Look at Danny. He thought he was going to the free throw line.
He really did.
And the offensive foul also results in Indiana's 19th turnover.
Take a look at the foul situation. Pacers with 3 guys just short of being disqualified. O'Neal 4, Harrison, Murphy 3. And the only one it looks like he might have a little bit of problem could be Garnett. It needs to be Paul Pierce, the way he is starting to light it up at 28 numbers.
And he has matched a season high. 28, back-to-back 28-point games now for Pierce. Posey is out there. O'Neal against Garnett.
Shoot that. Don't even try. You can't. You're not going to get by him because he's too long. You're going to have to shoot that from right there. That's the best shot you're going to get.
He's only 3 of 12 tonight, O'Neal. 8 points and 7 rebounds, and he's playing with 4 fouls.
Well, they're looking for him to help. This is the play they got started on when Ray Allen got going. This is the counter to the play.
Oh, wild shot there by Garnett, well off. Big 3, and is it a big 3? Yes, Granger.
Keeps it close enough.
After going 0 for 13 in his last 3 games, he's 5 of 5 tonight.
That's pretty unbelievable for a guy to shoot it that well.
Indiana trails by 10. Still plenty of time left. 5 minutes going by here in the quarter.
Boy, Jermaine, if this was after the fact, that's his 5th foul. What is that?
Garnett missed the shot, and the official called the foul.
He said he grabbed it. Yeah, he did. that what the officials saw was, I mean, they're all in disbelief, and they're more in disbelief because of the timing of when it was called, because originally it was not called.
So he joins the crew with 5.
But I go back to the way they've been letting them play, with reaching and doing all of that. Where officials get really kind of a stickler is when it happens on a shot. But generally, they've been letting them play in there.
Well, Indiana has had problems in the fourth quarter in the last 3 losses. Can they turn that around and have a come-from-behind win tonight here at Conseco Fieldhouse?
I'm more concerned as to whether they can have enough people on the floor. I really am.
Yeah.
Than whether or not they can, because I don't think they're going to have a collapse. Because right now, what they're just trying to do is score some points.
Oh, nice pass rush. Granger, though, was short. Kareem probably's got to shoot that. It left Danny, though, in a tough spot.
Lady behind me say he had his shirt, and he did. That's exactly what they had.
Extra pass goes to Posey, and now Pierce for 3.
Can make you work that hard on defense and knock down a shot like that. It can be tough.
A season-high 31 for Paul Pierce.
Take him down on the post, man.
Tinsley draws the foul. Eddie House, and he comes up hobbled. 6:09 to play here in the fourth. 14-point lead for Boston. Well, a week from tonight, the Pacers host Kobe Bryant and the ongoing saga that is the Los Angeles Lakers. Their only appearance here at Conseco Fieldhouse. The Pacers and Lakers next Tuesday night at 7. For tickets, log on to Pacers.com. What a holiday week, though, of basketball here at Conseco Fieldhouse. On Tuesday, the Lakers. The Friday after Thanksgiving, the only appearance from Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. And then on Sunday, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, it's some great basketball that to be played here. Pacers are getting better, got great energy. To me, I think they can't miss kind of situations because I'm curious about some of the teams. Anyway, I'm anxious to see how Cleveland responds because they've had to play without Anderson Varejao for a while, so that could be something that could be helpful for the Pacers.
Rondo got the offensive rebound.
But they don't get a reset.
They go right to Pierce. Now Posey. James Posey, in his first year with Boston, the last couple of years in Miami, was a part of their NBA championship team. And here's Kareem Rush unloading.
Nice job. You get the ball up to him quickly and just let him lift it because he lifts and shoots it as easily as Ray Allen.
Rush with his 6th three-pointer of the year. Lead, though, is still 11. Nice play by Rush. Rondo lost it. Here comes Indiana.
Give it back to him. Give it back to him.
And Rush again. It's short.
Well, he hit those 2 in a row against Miami. And it was one of those things that we get a little deja vu.
That would have been huge to knock that lead down to 8.
Yeah, you can see that Doc Rivers have to call a timeout.
Timeout is coming, but Indiana would have liked to have forced Boston to call it. Shot clock winding down. It's down to 3. Pierce. O'Neal beats Garnett to the ball. Here comes Indiana. Tinsley got it.
Somehow he gets it. I mean, he was falling down and Rondo was getting out of his way.
And Indiana finally gets it down to 9. And Tinsley commits the foul. Will not be a shooting foul. Boston will have the ball, but JT keeping the Pacers in it on FSN Indiana. Celtics holding on to a 9-point fourth quarter lead, trying to start 6-0 for the first time since the Larry Bird era back in the late 80s. It's time for our Dodge Home Team Pacers play of the game. We head back to the first quarter. Indiana fast break situation. Foster finding Danny Granger for the layup and the chance for a 3-point play. Granger, in fact, has 24 points to lead Indiana tonight. And they've hung in the game, though they've trailed most of the way since the first quarter. Shooting 34% from the field and with 19 turnovers, yet with 4.5 to play when they find themselves only down by 9.
Yeah, you're in the game. That's really where you want to be. That's what we talked about at the beginning of the game. I said if you're in the contest with 5 and below, that's really where you want to be. You got a chance to still impact the outcome under those circumstances.
Rondo's out there with Posey, Allen, Pierce, and Garnett. Oh, they forced Garnett out, and O'Neal got the rebound. So Indiana has a possession to get closer. Here's Tinsley, the hoop and the foul.
No question. No question, because James Posey, one of my pet peeves has always been a guy can't step out of the box and get credit for that if he's not set when a guy goes up. And Tinsley does a nice job going right at him, and you watch at the last moment, see him step up to him.
Nice strong move by Tinsley. He has 14.
Good concentration.
And the fact that the Pacers push the ball off, they score with very little time off the clock.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about trying to fight against that defense, that long athletic defense that they play. All you got to do is just stay solid defensively.
I would have made it a 2-possession game. They double team Garnett.
See, they got Rondo on the floor. He's going to end up having to shoot the ball eventually.
Posey again to Garnett. His jumper good. 16 for Garnett. Williams out there with Rush. They're looking out there on the perimeter.
Trying to cover Danny Granger, too.
Rush. He had Williams spotted up, but he threw it away, and now Boston will take time off the clock. Well, it was a good idea, but well read by James Posey.
James Posey, his real strength is that he's a defensive player, so he was prepared for that. He's just going to lift up and shoot this, I can tell you that now. I can see that one coming.
Didn't get anything, but it took a lot of time. 24 seconds off the clock, and then Granger throws it away. So 2 turnovers by Indiana with a game at a 9-point deficit. Boston has a fourth-quarter lead.
Covers the blue and gold like no one else can. A complete 30-minute preview before the game and a full wrap-up after, including comments from the coach, a visit inside the locker room, plus a preview of the next game. Pacers live before and after every Pacers game right here on FSN Indiana. And one of the guys that helps us get all that work done inside the locker room joins me now. Chris Hagan, what do the Pacers have to do? And put you on the spot with just a few minutes left. What do they have to do?
Obviously need to get some stops, but the big thing is make some shots. With the exception of Danny Granger, a woeful shooting night for the blue and gold.
Well, it's going to be an interesting next few minutes. And again, join us for Pacers Live immediately following the game. This guy, we're going to put him to work in the locker room. You ready?
See you then.
All right.
All right, thanks, Stacy and Chris. Danny Granger has had a fine night. 24 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 5 of 5 from three-point range. But as a team tonight, Indiana has really struggled, 35% from the field, and now they have matched their season high, 21 turnovers and 2 critical ones here down the stretch.
Yeah, but you have some people doing something that they don't normally do. Danny Granger's never really been known to be a great passer. And he had Kareem, who he doesn't play with a lot, and that combination made it a little difficult for him.
Oh, nice give and go to Garnett. They were out front. Now Garnett has 18. 11-point lead. They go into J.O., who hammers one.
Nice job running. They call it a rim run to the front of the rim.
10 points for O'Neal. He's got 9 rebounds, so a rebound shy of his second double-double of the year. Allen falling down is O'Neal. Rondo got in the air. Allen is short. Posey the rebound. Tinsley was chasing.
I thought he had a good chance to get it.
Now Boston trying to take time off the clock. They go to Garnett again, who hops it inside to Rondo and is fouled.
They're going to call that a flagrant.
So a flagrant foul, a flagrant one, is called on Tinsley. And Rondo will shoot free throws.
See Jamal Tinsley try to come back. I mean, he's trying to recover there. Well, I tell you what, that's close. I mean, because that's close there. You can really hurt somebody up there like that.
Rondo,
500 from the foul line.
And missed them both. That's why Tinsley wanted to foul Rondo, but unfortunately it will also give Boston the ball. Tonight's game brought to you by Chase. Danny Granger bounces back with a terrific night shooting the basketball. 24 points, 8 of 10 from the field. Has hit all 5 of his 3-pointers. And now Posey gets it. And there may not be enough time for Indiana. Rondo stripped it from Tinsley, now ahead to Posey.
He brings it back out. I mean, this is why they got James Posey. I mean, because they wanted to get some veterans to make plays like that.
Allen got a big third quarter right to the basket.
That's a good time out here because that's just way too easy there.
Indiana had cut it down to 7 on a Tinsley basket with 4:05 to play. But an 8-2 run now by the Celtics. They're in control by 13. Celtics have a 13-point lead trying to start the season 6-0 with a loss. Indiana will drop a game under 500 at 3-4 and lose their 4th straight and 3rd straight here at home. Pacers 5-game holiday ticket packs include 2 tickets to 5 games, plus an autographed player photo. The Mike Dunleavy package includes games against Detroit and Sacramento. The Ike Diagu package includes Cleveland and Miami. For details or to order, call 917-2500 or log on to Pacers.com. Well, I think we all knew coming in how talented this trio was. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, especially offensively. Last year on different teams, they averaged 73 points a game. Now collectively, they're averaging near 70. But they have really, I think for Doc Rivers, played pretty well defensively.
They played pretty well defensively. And one of the reasons they don't have to average 73 on this team is because they've got each other. So they don't have to look to get those kind of things going.
Harrison the rebound on the Owens miss.
Take Kevin Garnett out of the game to try to give him a break. And that's it.
They've got a back-to-back just like Indiana has a back-to-back. Fouls on Sean Williams, and that's it for Sean. He'll leave with 5. Jermaine O'Neal left with 10 points and 9 rebounds. And with 59 and 2/10 seconds to play, 6th foul on Sean Williams. Boston hosts New Jersey tomorrow night. Indiana will have another look at the Washington Wizards. And Washington finally got its first win of the year over the weekend.
They'll be a little bitter because they, one, haven't played well. 2, because the Pacers got them in the first contest. But the good thing about a loss is you got a little chance. Now, the tough part about it, they're sitting there.
Yeah.
They're sitting in Washington.
Team will make the flight tonight. Rush. Harrison kept it alive, but Ray Allen has it. Stephen Graham on for the first time for Indiana. He plays with Owens, Diener, Harrison, and Rush. Celtics will stay unbeaten at 6-0. And a foul is on Kareem Rush.
Kareem Rush draws the foul.
Well, what do you think of this Celtics team, Quinn? Your first live look at the new Big Three.
They're good. They are good. They still have to find a way to shore up their bench, even though it was decent today. I think they've got to make sure that they've got Rondo, who's a young guard, and that's still going to take some work. And I'm not, they're trying to bring along big baby Glenn Davis, so they're going to be young off the bench, but they've got everything else pretty well covered.
That's been a problem for Indiana all night as Owens fouls Posey. You mentioned it, trying to do too much on the dribble against this Celtics team.
They're too long. You got to make them move, and you got to make them move on the pass. They're too long. You can't. All those guys have long arms.
You look back at the first quarter, Pacers trailed by 2 at the end of one, 26-24. Quarter, they only had 2 turnovers, but they've had 21 since. The second really hurt, 11 of them there as the Celtics build up a 9-point halftime lead.
They also have 32 fouls. A lot of fouls. I mean, the officials have called it, but those are a lot of fouls. It's hard when, Jim O'Brien's crew has to guard people like Paul Pierce off the dribble. Kevin Garnett gets it going. You come double on him, and now you make other guys more effective. That's why I said they don't really have to have the 73 points. They get a lot less than that.
Bounce by Diener, and that should be it. Boston, for the 5th time in 6 games, will have a double-figure win, and they nearly match their 16 points a game advantage this season. 101-86. The Celtics, for the second time since 1987-88, have started a year 6-0. The last time they did it, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish were the big 3. The Pacers back in action here on FSN Indiana tomorrow night when they visit the Washington Wizards. Coverage of the Pacers and Wizards starts with Pacers Live at 6:30. Stay tuned. A recap of tonight's game is coming up on Pacers Live postgame. For Quinn Buckner and Stacey Pates, our director Jamie Burns, our producer Matt Scott, pregame show producer Dean McDowell, I'm Chris Denary. This has been Pacers basketball on the home of the Pacers, FSN Indiana.
As promised, it is time now for Pacers Live postgame as you see the fans making their way out of Conseco Fieldhouse. A disappointing night for the fans of the Indiana Pacers again tonight as they lost another game here at Conseco Fieldhouse, their 2nd straight loss at Conseco Fieldhouse. So one of the new guys in Boston is downstairs with our Chris Hagan. He's got Ray Allen. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Stacey, 17 points for Ray Allen. More importantly, you guys get the victory, still undefeated at 6-0.
Most definitely. It wasn't a pretty win, but I think by the second half, we went out there and we did what we had to do to win the game.
I thought the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half was when you guys really took control of this game after the hard foul on Pierce, and then you came out in the third quarter and started lighting up as well.
Yeah, well, the first half we missed a lot of shots. Excuse me. Defensively, we didn't get back in transition. We knew the things that we weren't doing, and we still had, I don't know what the lead was, but we still had a significant lead. So it wasn't as much of the points that we were worried about, but it was the things that we needed to do to lock down that we didn't do in the first half that we ultimately ended up doing in the second half.
It's a long season, but how much pride do you take in this streak starting off the season?
The NBA is tough. I always say it's not meant to go undefeated or somebody to never win a game, because you just always catch teams on bad nights, and some nights the ball won't go in you can't throw it in the ocean, but be consistent throughout the whole year and do things that you want to do to make you a good team. That's what we hope to do.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Thanks.
Stacey, Ray Allen, 17 points. Celtics get the win, now 6-0.
Very important for that franchise. And another note on Ray Allen, he told me this morning that they have all come together as a team. It's not about who's better than somebody else. No one's in awe of anybody. They're doing it as one team, and hard work truly paying off, as Doc Rivers was evidenced tonight in the way they played. Let's take a look at how this game unfolded back in the first quarter. Danny Granger getting things going for the Pacers. He was the only Pacer in double figures for quite some time, knocking down the long ball there. And then Brian Scalabrine
wearing the green, getting it done for the Celtics. He's also a nice shooter from long range in the second quarter. All Paul Pierce all the time. In fact, he had 15 of 21 in the second quarter alone, did Paul Pierce. He was feeling it in that second quarter. In the third quarter, it was Ray Allen, who we just heard from with our own Chris Hagan. Double figures in the third quarter for Ray. So back-to-back huge quarters, first for Paul Pierce, then for Ray Allen. The fourth quarter, the Pacers tried to make it a little bit interesting. Jamal Tinsley was able to try to get things going there in the fourth quarter. You see he's always pushing the pace, wanting this win badly, getting the lead down to 7 as far as Boston was being up by 7 at that point. And here's the last play of the night, Kevin Garnett. Hadn't heard much from him, so we had to show a little play of Kevin Garnett as he added in his points there. Taking a look at the final stats, rebounding pretty close. You can see the difference there. Offensive rebounds, Indiana doing a very good job of keeping the Celtics off the offensive glass. But they can see also with steals, that's what really hurt Indiana, not being able to protect the ball. Let's see who were the leading scorers in tonight's game. First for the winning team, Paul Pierce, 31 points on the night. Kevin Garnett with 18, Ray Allen, 17, and a few Pacers in double figures as well. Danny Granger with 24, 14, and 10 for Jamal Tinsley and Jermaine O'Neal. Well, the guys who called tonight's action are downstairs courtside, and it was tough because the Indiana Pacers able to be fairly consistent throughout the game, just not being able to get it done.
Well, Stacey, you know, when you put together a 35% shooting night and a season-high 23 turnovers, and you're playing against right now what may be the best defensive team in the league, boy, that's a potion for things not going very well. Indiana got off to a nice start. Quinn, what changed in that second quarter?
First of all, Paul Pierce. And I think he changed his intent, and I think that was really what made the difference. They found ways to get the ball to him. He became a tough cover. And then the Pacers really started getting themselves in foul trouble. Ended up with 35 fouls and sending Boston to the foul line for 44 foul shots. That started to change in the second quarter. In the third quarter, Ray Allen became more effective, primarily because Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett did a lot of damage, putting some pressure on the Pacers defensively. You had people with 3 fouls in the first half, and that makes it difficult to guard people in the second half.
Doc Rivers had said before the game he knew that this was a different Pacers team as far as how they wanted to attack offensively. They wanted to run, and I don't know how many times I would look and Indiana would push the ball across the half-court stripe. There was already 3 or 4 green jerseys back.
Well, what was interesting is as you listen to Ray Allen said that's one of the things they talked about in the first half, that they didn't do quite as effectively as they would like to do and did it better in the second half. And it really caused the offense to really shut down on the part of the Pacers because it's hard for a team that doesn't have somebody that can dominate inside to play a half-court offense.
So our first look at the Boston Celtics, we'll see them a couple more times, including in April, right back here at Conseco Fieldhouse. For Quinn Buckner, I'm Chris Denary. We'll see you, Stacey, in a little while to preview tomorrow night's game.
Sounds great. Thank you guys so much. When we come back on Pacers Live postgame here on FSN Indiana, we're going to hear from head coach Jim O'Brien, and later we'll get reaction from inside the Pacers locker room.